Не снимай, носи. Дарюш.
Да, сын, на роботі я одна. Куда мне бежать? Куди ховатися? Куди? Скажіть, будь ласка. Свою семью должны покидать. Что это такое?
Военное положение. А что стать? Паника, что? Паника?
Конечно, всем страшно.
Дети, куда детей девать? Куда прятаться?
Куда деваться надо?
Убежищ нету, ничего нету. Ровное место. Куда? Куда?
Потому что кто-то не смог договориться и решили помериться с силами. А страдают люди обычные, которые не хотят ни войны, ни всего остального. Мы хотим мирно жить, мы хотим работать, мы хотим свои семьи развивать, свою страну и просто мирного неба над головой, а не вот так вот, как высыпано ровно, непонятно чего.
Well, this is something that should have never happened. This would not have happened during my administration. In fact, some people were saying, why didn't this take place over the last 4 years during our administration? And it didn't for a very good reason, and I'll explain that to you someday. But it wouldn't have taken place, and it wouldn't have taken place right now. And it's a very sad thing for the world, for the country, and it's certainly very sad for a lot of people that are going to be needlessly killed.
To convene an emergency meeting immediately and consider all necessary draft decisions.
All right, we're going to monitor this, continue to monitor his statements. We'll go back to President Trump for a quick reaction. We had a kind of a really pathetic display from the Ukrainian President Zelensky earlier today, President Trump, where he, in Russian, he doesn't like to speak Russian, but in Russian, he was essentially imploring Vladimir Putin not to invade his country. Now we basically have the Ukrainian ambassador to the United Nations looking like a defeated man. Your final reaction?
Well, I think the whole thing, again, would have never happened. It shouldn't happen. And it's a very sad thing. But you know what's also very dangerous is you told me about the amphibious attack by Americans. You shouldn't be saying that because you and everybody else shouldn't know about it. They should do that secretly, not be doing that through the great Laura Ingraham. They should be doing that secretly. Nobody should know that, Laura. And, you know,
that was the Russian. Those are the Russian amphibious landing.
I thought you said that we were sending people in.
No, I did not. No. That would be news. That would be news.
And you know what? Hey, Laura, that's all we need. That'll be next, okay? Now, we ought to protect our own borders. You know, we ought to get to the southern border and start protecting the southern border. But it's a very terrible situation. It's a situation that should have never happened, Laura.
Well, there was a poll that just came out today was I think it was 36% support, American support for increased military involvement in Ukraine. So there does not seem to be, at least right now, public appetite for us to get involved militarily. President Trump, we really appreciate your...
Trade sirens went off again this morning in the capital city. People spent the night inside basements, in bomb shelters, some of them in the city's metro system. This morning, people are lining up for gasoline. They're lining up to get money out of bank machines. there is a movement, a lot of cars, long lines of cars moving very slowly towards the western frontier in this direction and the Polish border. Europe is very worried that there will be now a massive refugee crisis, with perhaps hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians determined to escape and coming towards Poland. The government here said this morning that about 40 soldiers were killed and maybe 10 civilians. The country is now under a state of martial law. NATO officials have reacted this morning, have condemned the invasion from Russia. Putin last night called it a special military operation. He did not call it an invasion. This morning, the NATO leadership said this is a very grave moment and that peace in Europe has been shattered. Paul Workman, CTV News, Lviv, in Ukraine.